With his commanding performance against David Morrell, David Benavidez has formally established himself in the boxing world. Benavidez displayed his unparalleled pressure and superior talents from the first bell, making the eagerly awaited bout a one-sided contest. Although there were some tight moments during the bout, the result was never really in question. Benavidez seized charge right away, moving forward unrelentingly and unsettling Morrell with his accuracy and constant attack. The pressure and energy that Benavidez brought to the ring were too much for Morrell, who had been hailed as one of the sport's most gifted young fighters. Many people expected the battle to be a back-and-forth conflict, and it lived up to the expectations. But what actually happened was Benavidez's show of power. He established his dominance right away by severing the ring and making deft combinations. Despite Morrell's reputation for speed and dexterity, he was unable to escape Benavidez's relentless siege. He was hit by unexpected gunfire and his movement was halted. Although Morrell did manage to get a flash knockdown in the 10th round, it appeared to be more of a Benavidez slip-up than a game-changing moment. By the end of the fight, it was obvious that Benavidez was superior to Morrell in practically every way. Although Morrell lost a few points for illegal shots and was knocked out, Benavidez's performance demonstrated his abilities and his ascent in the division. Benavidez's reputation as one of the world's most dangerous fighters was further solidified by the definitive way in which Morrell, whom many had regarded as a significant threat, was defeated. Following the pre-fight excitement, Benavidez's father and trainer led his camp, which was euphoric after the victory and felt justified. Many have called Benavidez a robot with few tools and criticized him for being too one-dimensional. However, Benavidez silenced everyone who questioned him on fight night. In addition to following his strategy, he displayed adaptability that many weren't expecting. He adjusted, added movement, and chose his shots rather than merely using pressure and power. Benavidez's victory was based on both his boxing IQ and physical prowess. When examining the bout from the viewpoint of other boxers, it was evident that Benavidez had won over everyone. A fighter with a past with Benavidez, Caleb Plant, acknowledged his unrelenting style, saying that you can never take a breather while you're in the ring with him. He keeps putting pressure on his opponent, making them put in more effort than they have in the past. Benavidez's endurance and training were evident in his ability to keep up his pace throughout the battle without ever becoming tired. His opponents are frightened by the fact that this boxer can fight for a long time without losing his zeal. Chris Algieri, a former world champion and pundit, acknowledged after the bout that he was taken aback by Benavidez's seeming dominance. He had anticipated a more difficult, competitive bout, but he was astounded when Benavidez easily defeated a fighter that many believed would be a threat to him. Many people consider Benavidez to be among the best fighters at 175 pounds because of his ability to effectively enforce his will on Morrell. Naturally, the most talked-about topic following the fight was Benavidez's future. Fans are more excited than ever to see if Benavidez can pull off that fight because Canelo Alvarez's name is frequently brought up in relation to a potential future bout. There has been a lot of talk about Canelo, the undisputed middleweight champion, with many people speculating about a possible move to take on the formidable Benavidez. But according to some insiders, Benavidez might have to fight again before taking on Canelo. He might be able to get used to the new weight class and get ready for a fight with Canelo or even Terence Crawford with the help of a possible tune-up bout against a previous champion. Regarding Crawford, the undisputed welterweight champion, who is rumored to be considering a weight increase, did not rule out taking on Benavidez following his scheduled bout with Canelo. Ever the thinker, Crawford is realizing that Benavidez poses a significant threat and is leaving his options open. According to Crawford, Benavidez is a problem. You can't write him off entirely. Tonight, he demonstrated his sincerity. After his dominant performance, it is increasingly likely that Benavidez will face either Canelo or Crawford. He is now a real threat against the biggest boxing stars, not merely a top contender. Benavidez's future appears to be open while Canelo gets ready for his next fight and Crawford considers a possible weight increase. Jose Benavidez Sr., Benavidez's father, stated unequivocally that they are prepared for the top boxing names. He declared, "We want the biggest fights. Whoever steps up, Canelo or Crawford, will be prepared." With this resounding win, the Benavidez family, who have always seen their son's potential, is demanding that the big names take on him. Many people questioned if Benavidez could actually match Canelo's strength and technique after the fight. Even if Canelo has repeatedly shown that he is among the greatest in the industry, the pressure Benavidez puts on him is unlike anything he has experienced recently. If Canelo wants to compete with Benavidez's unrelenting style, which tends to get stronger as the fight goes on, he will have to dig deep. Canelo is the fighter that everyone has been wanting to see Benavidez take on, but he understands that in order to become the greatest, he must confront the best. Although it may take some time for the fight with Canelo to happen, Benavidez may find solace in the knowledge that he is regarded as one of the best fighters in the world. He proved that he is prepared for the major levels with his commanding performance against Morrell and his versatility. Boxing fans worldwide are excitedly awaiting his next move, since his future in the sport appears to be quite bright. David Morrell showed a lot of heart in spite of the difficult loss. Instead of making excuses, his camp, led by trainer Ronnie Shields, acknowledged the difficulties Benavidez posed. According to Shields, Benavidez is a different kind of pressure fighter. He doesn't just throw punches, he throws them with purpose. Although the loss hurts, Morrell, a fighter for whom many had great expectations, gained important knowledge from this battle and will only improve as a fighter in the future. The story of Morrell's performance was one of youth and promise, but Benavidez demonstrated that young talent can be overcome by expertise, experience, and unrelenting pressure. The focus is currently on Benavidez, who has demonstrated that he is not only a rising star but also a real threat to anyone in the league, but Morrell will surely remain one of the division's top contenders. The boxing world is keenly observing Benavidez's victory over Morrell, which is the most recent development in an already remarkable career. A bout with Canelo or Crawford may be imminent. Although there are still a lot of unanswered concerns, Benavidez has demonstrated that he is prepared for any challenge that lies ahead thus far. The boxing world will be watching David Benavidez intently as the year goes on, anticipating his next move. There is no doubt that Benavidez has arrived, regardless of whether he faces Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, or another formidable opponent. Fans and commentators alike have been deeply impacted by his commanding performance against Morrell, and with a future as promising as his, the undefeated fighter's options are endless.